Well, I would not be able to comment too much on that because we have to wait and watch now how the exam pattern unfolds. Definitely, since UPSC has introduced a new pattern of selection, so possibly to keep pace with the growing challenges in governance and administration, keeping pace with the economic development of our country, I think there are varied new challenges and burning issues these days in our country. So I think administration and officers have to keep pace with that. So probably that could be a motivation why the new pattern was introduced.
मैंने जो नया सिलेबस देखा है, मुझे लगा है उसमें थोड़ा ट्रेडिशनल पोर्शन ज़्यादा बड़ा है। अभी जो 2010 और 11 के पेपर्स आ रहे थे, उसमें करंट से रिलेटेड क्वेश्चन ज़्यादा थे मेंस में, लेकिन जो अब सिलेबस जैसा डिज़ाइन हुआ है उसमें थोड़ा ट्रेडिशनल पोर्शन का जो वेटेज है वो बढ़ गया है। हिस्ट्री में जैसे इंडिया आफ्टर इंडिपेंडेंस या फिर वर्ल्ड हिस्ट्री का पोर्शन है, आर्ट एंड कल्चर का पोर्शन है, और अगर हम पॉलिटी में जाते हैं तो गवर्नेंस और एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन का जो पोर्शन है, थोड़ा स्टूडेंट को इन पर फोकस करना होगा और आंसर राइटिंग की प्रैक्टिस करनी होगी ताकि मेंस में वो टाइम मैनेजमेंट और इफ़ेक्टिव आंसर राइटिंग दोनों कर सके। बिल्कुल यह एक सकारात्मक बदलाव है और चयन प्रक्रिया को और बेहतर बनाएगा ये बदलाव।
See, I hadn't gathered much information about the change pattern and everything, but when I saw the syllabus, when it was changed, I was going through it, and there's a lot of things which was already there in the syllabus. You basically used to ask them, but now it is there. They have given it in the syllabus itself, like they have just elaborated it, a small syllabus they have elaborated to, with the inclusion of certain new areas, like which they think that it is important for a person to be a civil servant. Like that part of ethics and moral integrity, and some part of philosophers and thinkers in the paper 3, and those things. So there is certainly an addition because they have to adjust the marks also. Now it will bring almost all aspirants to a label, to ground where everybody will be almost same.
What I did was that I focused on getting a firm conceptual footing in all the conventional areas which are very important before the prelims itself, so that I did not have to spend too much time brushing them up before the mains. So I was more or less comfortable with my basics before the mains, and throughout my preparation, in fact, my main mantra has been to stick to newspapers for current affairs. So I did not leave the newspapers for a single day. I did them every day. I read 3 dailies. I read the Hindu, I read the Indian Express and the Economic Times, and I made notes, I made cuttings out of them to revise later before the mains, and that really helped me to frame my answers better during the GS paper, and also for my essay. The op-ed articles and the editorials, etc. were very helpful. So I think that was my strategy, so as to say, for the mains GS paper. I think also certain areas like international relations, etc. can be only adequately dealt with if one is abreast with current events from the newspapers. So I think that's very, very important.
मुख्य परीक्षा का बदले सिलेबस के अनुसार GS एक बहुत ही इम्पोर्टेंट पार्ट हो गया है, और मैंने जो रणनीति अपनाई थी, जो भी मेरा ट्रेडिशनल पोर्शन था उसमें मैंने कुछ टेक्स्ट बुक स्टडी की थी, और जो करंट का पोर्शन था उसमें मैंने न्यूज़पेपर, मैगजीन्स और नेट तीनों चीज़ों की सहायता ली थी। और बदले सिलेबस के अनुसार तो टेक्स्ट बुक हमें लेनी ही है, लेकिन इकॉनमी, IR या जो सोशल इश्यूज से रिलेटेड टॉपिक्स हैं उसमें हमें कुछ करंट का भी ध्यान देना होगा।
Specifically for GS, if you see, like the thing which is different from prelims and for mains is, first thing is you have to write it here, and then to write it you need to have a compilation of thoughts. There are many things which you read and you'll be knowing so many things, but it all matters how well you can write and how well you can present your thoughts or ideas or your information in the paper. So it's a matter of 2 things now here: your writing skills and the way you present your answers and your knowledge. So it's a combination of 3 things which you have to infuse and get a better coordination of all these 3 things. So in that matter it is different. In the terms of knowledge, it is not very much different or very much getting information and all those kind. In that matter it's not much different from prelims, but the way you have to reflect it, that matters here. So in that way you have to get more information, you have to go deep, because they used to ask a lot of deeper questions in certain issues and everything. And I think the paper which was this time when the mains paper for GS was much of a kind of opinion based, so to get an opinion you have to have a wide knowledge of different views. Then only you will be able to analyze the thing, okay, what is going on good and everything, and after analyzing that you have to infuse your own views also, like so. To have a clear thinking on a certain topic, that is what is more important in the current scenario of general studies in UPSC.
I used to read a lot of newspapers, 2 newspapers I used to read daily. Apart from that, I used to check the websites of the ministry on a regular basis, and I also used to prepare some notes from the newspaper which I would then revise periodically. And I used to constantly keep revising my fundamental subjects: polity, geography, history, economy, science, so that I remember the right things at the right time.
I think when you come to the main stage, there is a lot of elements involved. The preliminary is objective type. You just have to know the concept and you have to find out the answer of the given options. But in mains, you have to read a question. You have to think about the question from all the possible angles. You have to comprehend the question. You have to write an answer, and you have to write that answer in the given time frame. So you need the right speed. You need the right understanding, you need the right focus. So all these multiple elements are involved in mains examination. So I think you need to work harder for mains examination as compared to prelims.